Hi there. Welcome to Paint Minis Live. I'm your host, Bill T, coming at you from the Creation Cave. Today, we're going to be working on the final stragglers and hopefully wrapping up Cal's Abyssal Dwarves that we have in our studio. And I'm excited for you to join me as we finish up this lovely project so that we can move on to something new and different. So far, I've got a poll up on the Paint Minis Live the Paint Minis Live community page, where you can go to that tab in YouTube, and you'll see a post on there. You can click what you'd like to see next on PML. So far, the options are the Warlord Titan rebuild for our mascot. It's a giant robot-looking thing from Warhammer 40k. And I've got a fun story about that. I've told it a couple of times on stream, so I won't do it again, but I'm sure when we get there, we'll get there. A Warhammer 40k paint and compare with Mythos from Frost and Fists, our good friends over there, Mythos. He's quite a fun dude and honestly a great painter. And I'd love to do a paint and compare where we both take the same model, paint it up on our own styles, and show it to our communities, and maybe just do some fun stuff. And then NPC and fantasy creatures paint up is also on there if you'd like to vote for that. We've got a whole box of minis that our viewer Cal sent us to paint up, so we could do some NPC and fantasy creatures for like Dungeons and Dragons. Got a fun little example here. I was kind of painting on this mushroom guy a little while ago. Let's get you in here. Yeah, I was working on his kind of Amanita mascara kind of hat thing going on. So we've got a ton of dudes that are like this, just whimsical fantasy creatures that that we can go ahead and work on. So that's another option for you if you want to cast your vote in the or you can comment your own idea. You know, if there's something you'd like to see and it's not on there, please by all means just put it in the comments section of that community post. Welcome to Mercury Wells. Good to see you, Mercury. Ricky Marui Miru. There we go. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but good to see you, Ricky. So tonight, again, we're going to be wrapping up Cal's project here. We've got ourselves some lovely straggler models. These guys were just ones that I had not done the basing on. They haven't really followed the rest of the color schemes of their brethren, so to speak. Just a couple extras. Let's get the other cam going on in here. Here we go. So here is our finished color scheme for our dwarves. We have a nice black beard. Some of them have red beards. We've got the color shift turquoise purple. It's a little hard to see in this light in particular, but it does shift to purple. But color shift paint on the armor. Some orange, silver accents, and then rose gold for some of the other little details in there. So kind of an interesting little color scheme, all works together fairly well. And so we're going to go ahead and get our other dwarves up to spec. So there we go. And then we also have our one orc as well, who has gone through his airbrush process to get silvered up, since the majority of his armor and such is going to be that silver color. But I think we ended up with a nice finished piece for him. He'll be joining his brethren in their lavish pink color as well. So without further ado, we're going to get to painting here. I'm just going to keep this model here around as reference so that I can kind of paint to. Let's pick out another guy. We can have a couple of references. This guy's a pretty good reference too. He's a little bit more elaborate. But just having a reference model so I can take a look at where I did everything. Some people like to keep journals. I kind of just play it by gut feeling. And how I'm creatively thinking that day. We're going to be using silver today. We're going to be using probably some orange. We're going to be using, oh, that's transparent orange. I had a rusty orange. Let's see here. Yeah, burnt orange. We're going to be using burnt orange for some of it as well. Let's Let's see what some of these guys have in particular going on. We may end up using white gold as well. This is kind of a bit more of a warmer tone silver. What's going on, Scrub Sapien? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. What green is that? This is Bill T. Green. I don't know. Olive drab, maybe? I don't know. So yeah, the Pro Acryl paint is pretty killer in my opinion. I've been lighting a fire under Monuments, but to hopefully work with them in the future. I'd really love to do that. We're also going to be using Bright Jade, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's Jade and Turquoise. Yeah, so quite a bit of a lift in color there, but it's really nice for the accent on their little, I guess, skirts, male skirts. I'm not sure how to describe that, but they've got kind of like this little cloth garment going on under there, and I think the color contrast is quite nice. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be breaking out the airbrush tonight, just because, we've got 4 or 5 models to do. 4 models, I believe. Yeah, about 4 models. So I don't think we'll be needing that tonight, which makes our life a little bit simpler. We're going to break out the Turbo Dork silicone palettes. These are really nice for acrylic paints because you can literally just pop the paint right out of the palette and it's clean as a whistle under there. What do you know? So I'm going to clean that bad boy out. We're going to get ready to work. And just like that, it's clean. Talk about convenient. I don't have any sponsorship by them, but I know, good tools when I see them, and I like passing that along to the community. So if you're looking for a really nice palette, it is a little expensive for the size. It's like, I think it was like 15 bucks. So a little pricey for the size, but well worth it. Not gonna lie, well worth it. What has everybody been up to in game world, in hobby world? Well, I get some tunes rolling. Let me know in the chat what you've been up to, what you've been playing, what you've been painting, or otherwise nerding out to. There we go. Let me know if the music's a little too loud, but I'm gonna bop while we power through some of these orc boys here. Or sorry, dwarves. I'm getting my races, my species, I guess, mixed up. This guy looks very triumphant, and I like that. We're also probably going to need dark umber. Probably going to need light umber as well. This is going to go on there. This little back tabard piece. This to me screams leather. It looks a little bit like metal, but I'm just going to call it leather just to break up the colors a bit. You can kind of do that sometimes on models. So why don't we start with that orange that is our secondary color. Played your first game of Battletech. I'm a little jealous. I haven't been able to play Battletech yet, but I really want to get into it because the robots look kind of cool. I'm kind of a fan. I've played like a lot of Battletech universe-based like games, the Mech Warriors stuff. I was super into that for a bit. A couple drops of paint down on our palette. I did see your pictures on the Discord there, Scrub Sapien. Those were looking really good though. Your brown bear mechs. I thought that was awesome. I'm just going to use the moisture on the brush to kind of thin this. Again, I go a little bit thicker than most folks. A lot of people say make it a skim milk consistency. I don't know. I do it by the brush stroke. You know, you've got excess moisture built up in your brush when you rinse it, and I rinse my brush a lot because I like to keep a fine point. And if you rinse your brush often, you're going to keep that capillary action from the barrel, which is the big thick part of the bristles. You're going to keep the capillary action, meaning it pulls the paint down onto your model. So whether you thin it all at once or thin it by the brush stroke, it'll come out just the same. And eventually you kind of get the hang of that over time. Whole milk for Cal Vanoni, the one and only, who is coming in to grace us with his presence. Hello there, Cal. I'm hoping to get these guys done tonight or Reno here. Wow, this guy is really regaled up. This kind of looks like the head honcho to me. Let's get you guys in here. Oh, what do you know? It's D and Disabilities in the house. Awesome. Well, it's good to see you again. If you haven't seen D and Disability stuff, you really should. It talks about a lot of fun, interesting things. Yeah, where am I going to put the orange on this guy? He is just like super regal. We're going to try another one. This one I'm thinking is Paldron's definitely got to be orange. Oh, alright, let's keep that in shot. Painted those mechs pretty quick for the game, and I was gifted a couple more to play. Oh, nice. Okay. You got like an insider at your local game store who's just kind of sneaking you models under the table. Hey man, you should try these. They're real fun. We could do kind of an asymmetric color scheme on this guy. I think that'd be fun. Okay, yeah, you were over at Mr. Sylvie's corner of the world. Nice. How's things going over there? I wish him all the best. I'll be sending him a dragon soon, so I'm sure he'll be happy to receive that. Yeah, I'm still working on the camera work part of this. I feel like you know, I'm learning a lot as I go along, and I feel like part of this is going to be just a learning process, but I feel like I should maybe tape down a nice little square or something on the desk so I can make sure it's always in shot. I looked at so many cameras to find one that was like quality, somewhat within budget of what I could, how badly I could torture my wallet over it, but so we ended up with this guy because it's got really good zoom. All right. We'll say have fun hopping streams there, Cal. We'll catch you when you're around. The legendary Tunka Todd is in the chat, everyone. Welcome. We're just doing some orange bits where orange bits would be appropriate. I think, you know, that one Paldron is looking tasty, and then we'll just maybe do the outline on the other one. I think that's probably the strategy we're gonna go for here. I'm just gonna make this the trim on his Paldron here nice and orange on the opposite one, so that it's kind of asymmetrical, where one is fully orange and the other is just the trim on it. So it still ties it together, but it's a bit more interesting for the eye. Oh boy, and the Dungeon Minister shows up out of nowhere with a metal chair. Reference back to the old WWE days. We got 5 live chat lounge cats in the stream. How's everybody doing? What camera did I buy? This is the Sony, I believe the Sony A1. This camera does not, it's a very high quality piece of kit. It's not a DSLR camera, but I think it's really close to it. Doesn't have a removable lens, so you don't have to worry about buying a lens for it. The capabilities for it are actually pretty staggering. I'm not using half of what the thing is designed for, which is like vlogging and kind of facial shots. But it does a heck of a job. I'll send you a link. You got your phone? There you go. Yeah, you know, to be honest, at one point in time for the stream, I was using my Samsung Galaxy, and that was working out pretty well. Do I go for the airbrush and just... I feel like we could do some really cool orange effects on the shield instead of keeping it that blue. Break it up a little further. Oh, that's a hard sell. All right, yeah, we might do it. We're gonna make one model out of here really stand out. Let's do it up. All right, so here's the procedure. I need to find, what do you know, here it right is, the a little bit of silly putty. We're gonna use this as a mask because I don't want the entire shield to have this burning effect. I don't think any of the other pieces of kit on here are that time intensive, so we're gonna go the extra mile and make this really special. Can I have one? Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we're just flattening out some silly putty here to use as our mask. I'm gonna stretch this bit out because I don't need all of it, but it's a little bit easier to work with when you work at it with a giant glob instead of just a little bit. Now the pro strategy here would be to use like a liquid latex, but that takes quite a bit of time, which I don't have since we kind of want to keep it moving on the stream. I had the it's a S20 or S10 Note I think I was using at one point. That was my camera. I'm gonna try and kind of narrow this down just a little bit. Kind of conform it to this shape here. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of take our dental pick here. Let's find one with not so much of a point. Get you guys in here so you can see this. Pixels are good phones, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the Pixel. It's a wonderful workhorse of society in my opinion. And I think it's a very nice piece of kit. I'm gonna maybe need a little bit more silly putty here. Just a little bit. I'm gonna break off just a tiny piece, put it over this bit right here. Again, this is kind of a bit of a masking game, but What else don't we want? I'm thinking these other bits on the shield. I want the face to glow like it's burning. I feel like that's going to give the abyssal effect we're looking for. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. We can probably get the most of this done without it. We'll just be very careful. We'll have to... Give me just a moment while I switch out my airbrush cord. The phone cameras, I'm honestly, when I was really starting out with the paint minis, and there wasn't like, there was some interest for it. It's just what I could use, and there's a camera app called Camo that you can use for to trick like a laptop into thinking that your camera is actually a webcam. And so I used that just because I already had the phone. I didn't have to go out and get, an HD webcam or a really expensive camera. I mean, it was just kind of a cost-saving measure at the time. Since the show doesn't, since there's no funding aspect to it, I tried to make sure that I was at least somewhat, I wasn't jumping the gun and doing something that, Yeah, I lied. I think one of these, I think one of these dwarves requires a little extra time and attention. So I'm going to move the rest of the models out of the spray booth here. There we go. Yeah, this shield is just a little bit too cool not to do something crazy with. I mean, it's got like this, it's a very kind of demon-esque horns with, kind of a laughing grin going on and the angry eyes, Mr. Potato Head style. I think it's well worth the time and effort to do that. Camo. Yeah, I believe the app's name was Camo. I still have it on my phone. So if you give me a second, I can find it for you and just double check. Let's see, yeah, it's Camo. You can find that. Let me see if I can find the name of the company. Yeah, Camo webcam for Mac and PC. It is made by Reincubate, Reincubate, and Camo webcam for Mac and PC. Essentially, you install this app on your phone, you install the app on your computer, and then it kind of just spoofs your computer into thinking that your phone is a legitimate webcam. So it is kind of a nice piece of kit that I've used in the past. Pardon me. Alright, where is the cap for my putty? There we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I found some luck with it. I think we're gonna start off, we've got our burnt orange. We're gonna want like, let's see here. We're gonna want like burnt red for sure. We're gonna need, I know I have like a really obtrusive red in here. It's like a fire engine red. Yeah, bright pyrrole red. We're gonna want that. We're also gonna want a yellow. We maybe even use transparent yellow. Then we've got golden yellow, that'll work. Sure. Let's roll with it. Now I've got to change out my hose here, and we should be good to go. Them kings. Yeah, I know, Scrub Sapien. I hear you, man. That was a huge one for me. It was the first Red Dragon stream that I did with the Grenadier Red Dragon. That stream, I was planning on using a phone. I didn't want to carry a laptop, and I didn't have 50 subscribers, so I couldn't stream, even though it like shows you stream with your camera. It's that whole YouTube game. You know how it is. But, you know, luckily, from what I've found, a lot of folks around the YouTubes, at least in this community, they're very generous in just trying to give each other a hand up. We're all here to, you know, have fun gaming and to promote our hobby. And so a lot of folks, you know, if you want to do something and, you know, spread your passion, I think a lot of folks would be more than happy to help you out if you're interested in doing something like that. Because I haven't found a person who was not interested in, you know, trying to grow. Pardon me. Here we go. I'm gonna get this set up so we can head into the spray booth real quick. I told myself I wouldn't do this. I told myself I wasn't going to use the airbrush, but here I am. So I have an arm set up on the wall for this bad boy. It's the most ridiculous thing I know, but to be honest, I'm kind of happy I put it in there. It just takes a hot second to get set up, but it allows me to basically, you know, film anything on the desk from almost every angle. All right. So here we are in the spray booth. All right. Dungeon Minister's popping into lurk mode. Very nice. So we're gonna lay probably a base of burnt red. I'm gonna follow it up with burnt orange. Probably some red after that, a little bit of orange, and like yellow. I think that's where we ended up heading with this thing. Tonight we're going to be using our Infinity, Harder and Steinbeck Infinity airbrush. And that will that'll allow us to get into some tight places, as you'll see in just a couple of minutes here. All right, we've got our burnt orange. We've got our flow improver. I'm gonna throw a couple drops right in the bottom of that bad boy. We don't need a ton of this. Maybe a drop of paint will do, since we're working with just a small area. So we're going to work our orange right into our see I'm just building up light layers. These very light layers of this orange. I think that's good. I'm going to do a quick color change. So next up on the chopping block, we got Burnt Red by Procryl. This is going to lay a bit more foundation towards the center of our burning effect. A couple drops of flow improver in the bottom. Two nice drops of red paint. Just a little bit extra flow improver to help that mix together. Very nice. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and start again. I don't think you can even see me in the frame. I'll go back to just the spray booth. There we are. Okay. Again, just looking to kind of get that orange on the sides and the red in the middle. I'm gonna do a color change now to full-on red, and then use some transparent yellow, I think. So now we're going to go on to bold Pyrrole Red. This will really red it up. We're only going to use like a drop of this. I mean, it's very little. Okay. So as you can see, it really gets very red towards the center. Now we're going to come in with a brush, a little bit of this transparent yellow. I'm going to toss this yellow in the paint shaker real quick. Actually, never mind, it should be fine. Again, I don't need a ton of this, just a little bit. So I'm going to add a decent amount of water to this transparent yellow. This is just going to kind of tint our color. see how that looks. You can already start to see how it's drying and that it leaves little streaks of yellow in certain places. Alright, so next we'll take off our mask and we can get to doing some of the other bits on his shield here. Just gonna gently take this guy off. There we go, and now, bang, you can see it's just the, just that bit there. Alright. So we'll give him some fangs. I'm thinking we do, we'll give this guy some fangs. I'm gonna get the camera over here now. Okay. Alright. So get my airbrush out of the way here. Let's see, can you focus up there, friend? Oh, because I think you're slouching a little bit. Alright, there we have it. So we kind of got this nice red-orange shield going on. I'm going to do a couple of things to it here. There we go. And to find the right area to do it. Let's see. Yeah, heck, silver sounds fine to me. Give the old paint bottle a quick shake. All right. Just gonna give the paint a little bit of water. All right, and go in for our teethies here. There we go. There we are. Some nice silver teeth on that bad boy. Heck, we'll do his tongue that way too. Very nice. I think that's looking pretty bang up. Once that dry, we'll come over it with a black wash call that bit good. What else do we have on here? We have, if we take a look at our reference model here, looks like he's got some orange around his belt. This guy's going to be a little bit tough to paint since he's got quite a bit of stuff in the way of that. Just mixing up some of that burnt orange so we can get some details going. This is going to be a little bit tough to reach. So I think we're just going to make the rest of the model pop. I think his shield's going to draw most of the attention, which will be just fine. So it looks like the creatures and the NPC fantasy paint up is next on the list so far. Anyways, we got quite a few votes in for the fantasy minis. Like I said, cast your vote as to what you want to see next on Paint Minis Live, and whichever idea gets the most votes, that's what we'll be doing next. I'm gonna maybe reposition the camera real quick. This feels like not the best angle to film this at. All right. There we go. That's a little bit better. So again, just kind of working on some of the little orange bits. Around this here guy. Get a couple of other places. Let's move on to another color, shall we? Let's see here. I think we're gonna go off to Blue Land now. With Jade and Turquoise. I'm gonna stick this on the paint shaker. I'll be right back. Hey, how's it going, Sapphire? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I do appreciate it. It's always good to see you coming in for a drive-by. Hello. We're finishing up Cal's Abyssal Dwarves currently. We're one dwarf in. But we've done some cool stuff. Did kind of a cool shield on him. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. Little by little. So I'm just gonna check the consistency of the paint on my brush. It's just what I'm looking for. We're gonna base out his tunic, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what you'd call this. His man skirt. The very, very manly skirt he's got. I don't know what to call that, but it's some piece of Under Armour. This will clean up any mistakes that I've made with the trim paneling, or like trimming, I guess, of his armor. Kind of work this blue where it needs to go. Very nice. Off to the next one. Careful of his shield here. Perfect. There we are. Very nice. Hey, awesome to hear that Alex was able to play with the mini. That's awesome. How did it go? Tell me all about it. Now I'm interested. Hopefully a good time was had by all. I'm just kind of following the wrinkles of his tabard here, whatever you want to call it. Very nice. Next, we're off to, I believe, Silverville again. This time we're going to do up some of the little spiky bits on them. Party survived. Great game. Nice. All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to taking a look at those a little later. Do up his horns in silver here. Let's see here. We'll do this connecting bit here. Give it a little bit more character. And then I guess the pommel will do silver as well, just to kind of give it a little continuity. Collecting chaos is in the having a little bit of a brain melt right there. You can go ahead and clip that. just bash that one with. Bill has a brain melt live on stream. Forgets how to speak. Collecting Chaos is in the house, everyone. Welcome, welcome, Collecting Chaos. Good to see you, good to see you. Were you having winter storms as well where you were? Because we didn't really have a storm. They were predicting a storm. It wasn't really a storm. It was more like a winter reminder for us where I am. I'm gonna do up the skull down here, I think. Yeah. Nice. Take a quick second to grab me. I think we're gonna do like. I kind of want to do bronze, or maybe this white gold might work too. Yeah, we're gonna use white gold for his helmet, I think. Little thunder bumper. Nice, nice. Oh, that's cool. Painting some kobolds and goblins with squigs on sticks. Alright. Sounds like a fun time there, Cal. Looking forward to seeing how those turn out. I changed my mind. We're going with bronze. I really want this to stand out and look nice. Collecting chaos. What's new with your channel? What you covering next? Yeah, it really wasn't much for us in our area there, Sapphire. We had just a little bit in our area. I mean, maybe like a half an inch or something. Not much. At least I don't know if that's changed since I've, you know, kind of come down to the creation cave here, but it's just another name for the basement. I'm not gonna lie, this guy has a pretty cool helmet. Definitely got some symmetry going on with the double-headed orc. We're only doing part of his helmet, so that makes life a little bit easier. There we have it. I think that looks quite a bit nicer. Starting to work on Superman 18. You doing some cleaning on that book or something in particular? Very nice. Very nice. Hey, if at least they know the drill. That's more than quite a few folks. So be proud of them, like you are. Nice. We had popcorn tonight too. I kind of had some of that before I came downstairs. We made ours over the fireplace. I have like an old school popcorn maker from like God only knows when, but it's like basically a wire mesh basket that you can open up and you shake it over the hot coals when the fire is low, and we make our popcorn that way. It gets like a nice smoky flavor to it. Putting down just a little bit of white gold on this here shield. It's got an interesting little motif on it that I kind of want to try and pick out. I think this needs just a bit more liquid in it. There we go. Okay, good enough. That'll look just fine. Alright, we better move on to our browns, otherwise I'm gonna be here all night. Some Sprite over it! Huh, okay, that's new. That's new. Hey, good to see you, Sapphire. Take it easy if you're still in here. Take it easy. We'll see you again next time. You know, that's so outlandish that I kind of want to try it just to see. Just to see how it tastes. Because, you know, everybody, you know, a lot of people like that root beer float. I could see Sprite doing something. Something quite nice, actually. Start with the brown here. Working on the leather. Gonna do his belt. I think this is like a little coin pouch, I think. So we're just gonna do that up as well. As long as we're here. Try and get as much of that belt as we can. A little tricky trying to get that in there just right. Make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, there we go. The front of him needs to get painted too. There we are. Nice. Alright, we will leave him to dry for a little bit. We're going to start on the next guy here. We got to power through these dwarves. We're gonna get some more silver on the pallet. Power pack sounds like fun. I haven't heard of that. I was kind of an Archie boy. I read a bunch of Archies. That was kind of my chillax and read the comic book. I also had a couple of Simpsons comic books. And those ones were particularly nostalgic because my parents brought me out to this log cabin kind of hotel experience, I guess, in Yosemite National Park. Maybe that's what it is. Yellowstone, sorry. It was Yellowstone, not Yosemite. There was no TV there, and I was quite young, but I could read through some stuff, and we went to a little gas station, and they had comic books there, and so I picked up had an Archie one and a Simpsons one, and I read them suckers into the night, and I had a good time doing it. That was kind of my first comic book experience, so to speak. I was pretty young. Holy details. Holy details. Alright. We'll just start from the beginning with this guy again. So we'll go and grab ourselves our burnt orange. I think we're going to do the outline on his armor as well. Again, I encourage you, if you haven't, to go and toss your votes in for what you want to see next on PML. You can find it in the community tab, and make your voice heard as to what you see next on the show. Looks like we currently have... Let's see if I can see how many votes we've got going on. Looks like we got four votes submitted. I think we'll probably have that run till sometime, well, not too much longer. Probably over the weekend we'll have that up. So if you do have a thought or idea you want to submit, or if you want to vote for one of the ones that I've got up there, have at it. You'll have the weekend to decide, and then we'll just move on from there. We'll have ourselves a time. His whole arm is the shield. That is interesting. Okay. Wow, there are some really ornate sculpts with these guys. Holy crud. I'm telling you. Good lord. Alright. Well, I'm gonna do what I can. I wonder if Road March is here. This would be your speed paint challenge. I think I'm on Dwarf 2 out of 4. And I have yet to, yeah, Dwarf 2 out of 4, and I still have an Orc to go. We got an Orc in the chamber and 2 Dwarves down. Move on to his kilt. I forgot I had a T down here. There we go. Let's wet the whistle. Nice. So, got some more information on this new Halo miniatures game. You know, and like I said, I've had kind of a long-running thing with Halo. It was like kind of a big part of my childhood, growing up as part of that video game generation. I played a lot of Halo, and I had a great time with it. And to hear that they're adapting it to be a tabletop game is just awesome. I've heard there's been a couple of companies that have done it to varying degrees of success. The last, like, kind of war game-esque one that came out was from a company called Spartan Games, I believe. And they had one called Halo Command Point that was like 15 millimeter scale models. They were pretty small. I believe it was 15. We can check out some stats later if anybody's super interested in it, but good luck finding any of the models now. Anywho, they put out a Halo tabletop game. Then there was also a Halo Fleet Command, I believe it was called, and that was kind of like a almost Gothic Armada style Halo game, and that one had some success as well. But I think they were all kind of missing something, and I think it was that 28mm scale that a lot of folks are really used to with this wargaming stuff. They're small enough minis that when you group them together, they look really nice on the tabletop, but they're large enough that painting them isn't a pain. So I think a lot of folks probably wanted that. And the Fleet Command thing, I think, wasn't such a big one because there's a fair amount of, like, you know, naval and flight-based war gamers out there that enjoy that kind of stuff, but I think it does kind of have a bit of a niche audience. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. It looks like they have a new... Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, that is definitely a good point. So 15 used to be the size for Civil War, and so on. Were those like the old school pewter minis then, collecting chaos? Were in that kind of scale? because I could totally see that being a thing. It was like old school pewter and lead cast minis. Anywho, I know coming from a background with the Warhammer thing and like, because that was, you know, my first game of choice, so I have a little bit of what's the word for that? You know, I'm skewed. My opinion is skewed just a little bit more towards that side of things. But I do like the size of these dwarves too, and I'm pretty sure they're close to 28 mil. Must be pretty freaking close. But anywho, beyond the point, this is a 28 mil Halo game. It's skirmish style, pick up and play. The rules seem pretty easy to pick up, hard to master. And it's coming with terrain that looks to be like MDF that's been laser cut. And then it's been, the cool thing about it though is it's been like laminated with paper over it. That has, you know, it's like printed paper, essentially. So, it looks pretty detailed. It's definitely not painted, which is, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't do that. And I think the way that they went, you know, it's going to be nice. It's coming in 2 different box sets, one of them larger, one of them smaller. Just, you know, kind of the how much you really want to invest in it. If you want to dip your toes, they've got like a starter pack. If you really want to go full force on it, you definitely can with a I think it's like quite a few more models, plus they have like elites in there too, so it's kind of fun. Just some news for you. I'm not sure exactly when these will be hitting production, but they did give, you know, it's a bit more information about the game than we got from either the teaser trailer or so on and so forth. Yeah, Warhammer's gotten big. They decided that they were gonna go to a totally different scale. And I really haven't played Warhammer for quite a while. Like an actual game of it, but I do like painting the minis. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that setting. Get really grungy with it, or, you know, do some parade style minis. I'm kind of a painter through and through. Playing is fun, but I'm a painter. I like to paint the thing. I may have to do Finish and Send Off Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, because it's already coming up on like 10:30, and I have one heck of a day tomorrow. I'm gonna see what else I can plow through on these guys. Make sure we get these wrappings. Um, 10,000 lead minis. Yeah, you have quite the collection, my friend. Quite the collection. What's up tomorrow? I'm hitting the road to go hang out with me old man while mom goes and she's gonna go hang out with some friends in North Dakota. She's gonna take a little road trip and visit some friends. So I'm gonna go hang out with Dad, and we're gonna smoke a brisket. Apparently, is what he wants to do. He wants to smoke a brisket and a what was the other thing he wanted to smoke? A pork belly? No, was it pork belly? Anywho, we're gonna smoke a bunch of meat. And that's gonna be fun. I'm excited. My dad did a lot of like cooking competitions back in the day. And he knows his stuff, I tell you what. So I get excited whenever he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go make a bunch of stuff." So hopefully the weather cooperates, so we can smoke up some nice meat. What are we talking about in the chat? I have not taken the time to catch up on the chat. I think it's really cool that there's a miniature collection like that out there. I'm not gonna lie. I think that is just hap dandy. Because I myself too love minis. What I'd really like to do is sometime in the future get with the Dirty Basement Terrain and do a little terrain building session with him. Because Lawrence from Dirty Basement Terrain, I am telling you, guy makes magic out of almost nothing. It's like you give that man some material and out comes delicious looking structures, and he paints too, and he's a good painter. He's a good painter too. But I mean, man, does that guy make some cool stuff. Alright, we're gonna go back to our first guy here. We're gonna get our light umber, if I can find it. Where did you run off to? Here we go. Light umber it is. Hey, you know, do you have this mini? Dungeon Minister, the one you're talking about? Because if you have it, you could probably make a mold of it and cast it in resin. The process looks intimidating, but trust me, it's easier than you think to make a 2-part mold, and then you can pop another one out and use it as you wish. Used to have it, long lost now. Yeah. Shucks. Yeah, that shoots a casting plan out. Nice. Yeah, we might have to finish and send off part 2 Electric Boogaloo on this one, friends. Unfortunately, sometimes I bite off just a hair more than I can chew. But that's okay. It'll be done, and it'll be done well. I mean, we made quite a bit of progress. This guy's almost done already. He just needs a couple extra things, and he's good to go. And then we have one more dwarf and an orc. Now, the orc's gonna be pretty quick. If I'm gonna be honest, I think the orc's gonna be pretty quick. But I say that about everything, and then it ends up taking like 3 hours. We got 7 live chat lounge cats in the studio. Thanks for being here, friends. There's Road March. Oh, yeah. All right. Might be some off-brand. Lost Minis Wiki. The internet never ceases to amaze me. I'm telling you, you can find anything anywhere. The Lost Mini Wiki. Who would have thought, man? Good lord. Alright. You, my friend, I think have the seal of approval to move on in the process. Let's see here. I don't think we actually need that color. What's the color we need? Don't want to forget the leather strips he's got going on there. Nice. Yeah, like I keep saying, it's at this point I realize that 3 orcs and a dwarf were maybe going to be a bit much for one session. Which sounds funny, you know? You think you could bang these guys out. Let's see here. What do we want to do with this? Go with the white gold. All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna call the painting for tonight complete. Unfortunately, I thought I could kind of bang it out in one session. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be the case, and I've got quite a few hours of driving tomorrow. So what came of the discussion for Dungeon Minister's Lost Mini? Looks like, did they walk into a bar? There you go. 3 dwarves and an orc walk into a bar. That sounds like the start of a good joke. I'm sure Dungeon Minister could finish that one. He's much more the apt comedian. Yeah, so it sounds like still digging for that mini to see if there's any, I wonder, you know, there must have been somebody producing that. It could have been a hole in the wall studio. I mean, some of those older models, you know, they were made from, sometimes it was just guys with a spin caster, right? And they were doing it out of like their garage or something. I've heard of stuff like that back in the day, so. May have walked in but rolled out. All right, friends. Well, I think I'm losing a bit of steam here. Again, unfortunately, I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. I was hoping to wrap it up tonight and be able to send these guys out. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So it looks like this is going to be a Monday project to get these guys out the door. I think I'm going to be starting quite a bit earlier on Monday. I really want to give these guys the time that they need to just get done. And I think it's going to take more than a couple hours. It works out well for me later on at night. Just because, you know, I tend to get home later. But hopefully I can skedaddle a little bit early on Monday, and we can have ourselves some proper paint time with these minis. Molds from Prince August. That's fun. Anywho, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Again, we'll be doing Electric Boogaloo of this on Monday, and then we'll be moving on to something else totally new. Before then, you can cast your vote for what you'd like to see next on Paint Minis Live in the community section of our channel, and vote for your pick. If you like what you saw tonight, spread the word, and maybe suggest taking a look at Paint Minis Live to a friend of yours. We've been climbing the ranks with the subscriber count. We're up to like 130, which is really nice to see. There's a lot of really good folks that we've met along the way and brought into our community, and we talk to and see on the stream. So the more the merrier, in my opinion. Thank you to Calvinoni, the one and only, for bringing us these fine sculpts to paint and have a wonderful time with, as well as some additional minis that we can paint potentially here real soon in the future, depending on how that vote gets cast. Thank you to the Dungeon Minister for being here. Thank you to Road March, Collecting Chaos. If you haven't seen Collecting Chaos's stuff, go check him out. He's great with comic books and all things that are kind of old school nerd memorabilia. I'm still digging into his channel, but really, really kind of cool, intriguing things going on over at Collecting Chaos. So check that out if you would. Thank you for Sapphire. Thank you to Sapphire for stopping in. It was great to see you. Thank you, the legendary Tonka Todd. Thank you, Scrub Sapien. I appreciate you being here. And thank you to D and Disability was here too on an alt account, so thank you, D and Disability, for coming here. D and Disability is another good one if you're into the minutia of wargaming and all things meta that come with it for the old school kind of stuff. And thank you to Mercury Wells for hanging out in the chat as well. Then that's how late you must paint, Bill. Right. Indeed. Anywho, I'm Bill T with Paint Minis Live, coming at you from the Creation Cave. We plowed through some really cool works tonight, and it was thanks to you guys who kept me company all the way through this long project. But we're finally seeing the runway, so to speak, from 30,000 feet. So thank you again. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday. Stay safe, stay happy, and we'll catch you then. Bye, everybody.